John Watson?
Yes? Oh, good heavens, Smithfield!
Good to see you, old man.
Well, and you, I had no idea you were in London.
You know, I've been in London now 2 years. I've read about you a number of times. Meant to look you up. I apologize.
Don't apologize. I admit I haven't contacted anyone from our regiment since getting home.
You know, we went under such stress when we were under fire. I think we needed to maintain a little space between one another and from our memories.
Yeah. Well said. Well said, Smithfield. Oh, but I'm awfully glad to see you now.
Well, good to see you as well. By the way, how was your shoulder?
Well, it's not bad. It's a bit dicey on wet days.
You must enjoy suffering. When does it not rain in London?
Yes, if it's not raining now, it either just stopped or it's about to start. Oh, but let's not talk about the weather. How are you getting on? How's that knee?
My knee? We talk about my knee and we'd be still talking about the weather.
Yes. London's no place for old soldiers, that's a fact.
It is not. But are you a member of the Randolph Club?
I'm a prospective member. I thought I'd stop by and look the place over. How do you like it?
You know, I do indeed. A man needs a refuge from his habitat. You know, I would be pleased to nominate you for membership in the club. But don't kid me, Watson. You're a friend of Sherlock Holmes, and one of our members has been murdered.
Well, there was no deception intended, Smitty. I'm killing two birds with one stone. Did you know Lord Carradine well?
Well, only as much as I cared to. No disrespect for the dead. But I didn't like the man.
Why's that?
He was a disgrace.
Is that right?
Oh, you know, he got away with things that will ruin of better men. Drunkenness, imbroglio with women. You know, he was behind a full year in his association dues. You know, I've heard members talking about maybe ways of getting rid of him. Well, he is gone. So there is that.
There is that.
By the way, did you know that he was recalled from service in the Middle East?
I didn't know that. Where was he serving?
He was an attaché to a consul in Kuwait. He insulted a local sheikh. He got drunk and groped his niece. It's a wonder they didn't decapitate them both on the spot. Here I am, gossiping like a Scotch crumb.
Oh, don't apologize, I asked. Well, and it's not idle if it helps us solve the murder. What about another one of your members, Douglas Hanslow? Do you know him?
Douglas Hanslow, a chap from the south of Africa. You know, I did not know him well. He was rarely here. But we do have a shooting range and a hunting lodge outside of London. I believe he frequents them.
Was he friends with Lord Carradine?
Lord, no. Kennedy had no friends. God knows why he even showed up here.
Do you recall the last time Carradine was at the club?
It was last week. He was having a meeting with an American, a fellow from Chicago, I believe. It did not go well. The American left in a huff, and he shouted at Kennedy that he should go to Hades. I believe I heard someone say, "Hear, hear," and it may well have been me.
Oh, thank you, Smitty. Oh, it's been so good to see you.
It's good to see you as well.
Let me stand you to a drink.
No, you're not a member yet. The drinks are on me. Waiter!
Surprised to see you here, Mr. Aslow. I didn't think Lady Iris was interested in settling up her husband's account. I think both waited a day or two. I could have saved you a trip. Have a seat. I've got some good news for her. Lord Peter's horse, it come in at 30 to 1. He had me like 40 quid on it. Rather had me crunch him to 40. You know, I wish I could have asked him who tipped him off on that horse, but now I'll never know. And all that Lord Peter, he could have picked a winning horse if it ran him over. And yet, on the very day of his death, he picks a winning long shot. Now that ain't fate for ya. Anyway, it paid 1,200 quid, and as it happens, that's exactly what he owed me. Normally I take a small service charge on the winnings, and a carrying charge on the death. But seeing how he's deceased, I'll call it square. You can tell Lady Iris, she don't owe me a shilling. No one can ever say, oh, Jack Sintry ever made life more difficult on a grieving widow. Now, is that satisfactory?
Not entirely.
What? Why not? What else could she possibly want?
There is still the matter of the missing diamond.
Missing? I hadn't heard about that.
Come now, Sentry. Don't play innocent with me.
Wait, do you think I have it?
I think it's worth looking into. Now, as you say, that Lord Peter's debt is clear. And if he gave it to you as collateral, there's no longer any reason for you to hold it.
That's where I've seen you before. You was at the auction the day it got canceled. Well, you can tell her ladyship I don't go about stealing jewelry. You think Lord Peter gave it to me in trust? Well, you're crackers. Does this look like a pawn shop to you?
Sentry, I'm not an unreasonable man. I give you this one chance to give me a diamond and make a few quid as a finder's fee. Shall we say 50 pounds?
Next, you'll be wanting me to keep this little transaction a secret. Am I right?
That's right, Jack. It'll be our private business.
I thought as much. You don't fool me. You're not here for Lady Iris. You're wanting that diamond for yourself. Well, I can't help it, so bugger off!
No, he's gone out, and I don't think he'd be too pleased to find a stranger in his study.
Excellent. My business is best conducted without him.
What do you want?
I'm here for the Star of Arabia.
What makes you think it's here?
Enough questions. Now tell me where it is.
I can't help you. I don't know where it is, but I doubt it's here.
I shall determine that for myself. Sit down while I look. What's this?
Oh, I don't think it's in there. No, come to think of it, that might be just the place Mr. Holmes would hide it. Go ahead and look.
It's a cobra! Are you trying to kill me?
It's not a cobra. It's a speckled band.
A speckled band? Oh, that's even more deadlier. What kind of fiend are you, madam?
I don't know what the fuss is all about. It can't hurt you. It's quite dead.
Dead? Are you sure?
Dr. Watson shot it, and Mr. Holmes had it stuffed. I don't think it could be any deader. Here, nothing to be afraid of. Now, why don't you run along, and I'll let Mr. Holmes know you dropped by.
I must find the diamond.
It isn't here, but I'm sure it will turn up eventually. And be careful if you happen to find it. It carries a deadly curse, you know.
So do my creditors. Very well. I shall go. Where's my gun?
In a safe place, we wouldn't want it going off now, would we?
It can't go off. It isn't loaded. Please give it to me.
Give it to you? How do I know you don't have bullets in your pocket?
I don't have any bullets. You can search me.
What? Put my hands in your pockets? Certainly not. I'm a respectable woman.
Madam, I borrowed the gun and I must return it. You must give it back to me.
If I give it back to you, will you kindly look for the diamond somewhere else?
You have my word.
Very well. Now, you haven't told me your name. Who should I say came calling?
Omar Masood.
Mr. Masood, I will let Mr. Holmes know that you are here. Now, you be careful with this. You know what they say. There's nothing more dangerous than an unloaded gun.
Thank you, madam. Oh, I almost forgot. Give this manuscript to Sherlock Holmes. It's about the diamond.
I'll see that he gets it. Now run along.
Thank you. Good day, madam.
What a strange man.
I came by the idea last year at the Chicago Columbian Exposition. I made a fair amount of money in the manufactured shoe business. But at the exposition, I saw an opportunity.
May we offer you some tea, Mr. Bonus?
Tea? Never touch this stuff. You see, I believe the center of the world is revolving westward. And that's why I'm traveling Europe to collect the finest artifacts of civilization and ship them across the Atlantic. I'm buying artworks, machinery, cases of wine, wheels of cheese, bolts of cloth, pianos, anything I find that's expensive and that we don't make better in the States. That's why I want the Star of Arabia.
Ah, remarkable.
So tell me, Holmes, how much does Lady Carity want?
I'm afraid I'm not in a position to negotiate.
Well, would you be interested to know that I have 30,000 pounds sterling on deposit in the Bank of London?
Not especially. It's not within my province.
Well, we're not going to talk turkey. Why am I here?
I merely wanted to know how long you plan to be in London for.
Another week. Then I moved to Vienna.
Will the auction be held before then?
I certainly hope so. I believe we're all looking forward to resolving this matter.
I hope we haven't put you out, Mr. Bonus. We offered to meet you at Claridge's.
No, it's fine. Tired of being cooped up in my hotel.
You intend to display the star in a museum back in the States?
No. I am an expert diamond cutter. He'll chop it up 12 different ways, and I'll make back my investment 6 times over. I don't waste sentiment on minerals.
Are you also planning on selling all the artwork you're collecting?
Mm-hmm. Every piece. See, there are some very rich people in America. Cotton, steel, railroads, cattle, newspapers.
Yeah, I see.
You disapprove of making a profit, Dr. Watson?
It's not that I disapprove, but I admit it saddens me.
I really must announce you!
There is a time. Captain Watts,
Collier!
keep this safe. That's the star.
Good heavens, Mrs. Hudson!
I'm right here, Doctor!
Boil some water and give me some clean towels.
Is that Collier?
Yes.
Oh, how is he?
He's lost a lot of blood. Collier, what happened to you?
I chased down the man who murdered Lord Peter. Stuck him with a fireplace poker. Oh, he cut me pretty good in the fight, but I got the time back.
Where have you been, man? We've been looking for you for days.
At the home of a mate of mine. He cleaned me up and let me rest for a bit. I read you were looking for me. I came right away.
I've got the kettle on, Doctor.
Thank you, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes! Will that diamond be in the house very long?
No, it'll be gone soon, Mrs. Hudson.
You suppose it would help if I hang garlic around the doors?
Excellent idea. Collier, my name is Sherlock Holmes. Did you know the man you fought with?
Oh, yes, I knew him. His name was Bruni. Did some carpentry work in the stable. Rebuilt the tack room. Then he got fired for getting into a fight with the coachman. I saw him again last week. Someone left a saddle out. When I went down to the stable, Bruni was waiting at the gate. Well, I asked him his business, and he said he was looking for a wood saw. Then he left.
With the wood saw.
Well, he said he couldn't find it.
Collier, your mates did a pretty fair job of cleaning the wound, but you're going to need stitches. I can take you to the spare room. If we help you, can you manage a few stairs?
Certainly, Captain.
One question, Collier. Where was this saddle?
Over the fence by the gate. I put it back as soon as Rudy left.
Had it been there before?
No, but was there the day of the murder?
Thank you.
Oh, now who could that be?
Perhaps I should be going, Mr. Holmes. I know this is probably the wrong time to ask, but do you know when that diamond will be auctioned?
You're right. It is the wrong time to ask.
Of course. Well, I'll be in touch.
One question, Mr. Bonus. Did you ever actually meet Lord Peter?
I had a drink with him last week at his club.
And?
Well, it was not pleasant. You see, I'm a self-made man, Mr. Holmes, and proud of it. And his lordship thought that rising from humble origins was a mark of shame. Well, he and his lousy, rotten ruling class are dying out. And not a moment too soon.
Good day to you, sir. Good day. Americans, what sort of name is Bonus anyway?
Mr. Holmes, you had a caller while you were out, a Mr. Massoud, a strange man. He left this booklet for you, and I should add he carried a gun, but it was empty.
Oh, thank you.
You also have another call outside, a young lady.
Not the best time for receiving, but show her in. Jessica, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I'll fetch that water for Dr. Watt.
Pray have a seat.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Oh!
What can we do for you, Jessica?
Well, sir, It's just that I thought you might like to talk to me about Lord Carradine and all, because we never had a chance to talk at the house or anything.
Is there something you wish to tell me?
Only that I saw Mr. Century and Lady Iris talking together when they were both leaving in their carriages. I mean, I couldn't tell you in front of her.
Did you overhear what was said?
Well, they kept their voices really low, and she wasn't happy to see him, and no mistake. But I did make out one thing.
And that was?
She asked him where his offices were. She said she'd send him round a bank draft.
Most suggestive. Did you see Lord Peter after Sentry left?
No. But I heard him cry out when he got stabbed. I was the first one to find the body.
Where was Collier?
Don't know.
Did you see the diamond when you entered the library?
No, sir. Has it been found?
What makes you think it's missing?
Oh, just talk around the house. I mean, I know it was in the library. Lord Peter had it. And I might have seen more, but her ladyship told me not to be alone with him.
Were you alone with him before he was killed?
Sir, only for a moment. I had to clean a spill on the floor and then I got out of there right enough.
Is there anything else you wish to tell me?
No. I mean, yes. I mean, well, this may sound a bit balmy, but I wanted to talk to you. I mean, I'd heard a lot about you and, well, I was curious. I hope you don't mind. And besides, sometimes a person doesn't know what she knows unless she gets asked. So I thought, if we did a bit of talking, something else might come to mind. Something you'd find useful. And this being my day off, here I am, to help you find the diamond. Or whatever else you might need. Do you think you'd like that?
Ask me for anything but time. Mrs. Hudson, thank you for coming. Jessica, Mrs. Hudson will show you out.
Oh, we only wanted to help.
Good
sir.
day.
Good day, sir. We only wanted to help you.
CSPCTU307.
Oh, have you figured that out yet, Holmes?
No. What brings you here?
Oh, yes, I came to inform you about Jack Sentry. He's been murdered.
When?
Noon today at his office. Gunshot.
3 people killed, 1 seriously wounded, all because of this infernal diamond.
Well, I'm on my way to the crime scene now. Would you care to accompany me?
I do.
I have a carriage waiting. Will the doctor be joining us?
No, I don't think he'll want to leave his patient, and I'll need a moment to lock this up.
Oh, is that the missing diamond?
It is, Lestrade. Look at it. The infamous Star of Arabia. Dear in both treasure and blood.
It's reputed to be rather unlucky.
Perhaps even diabolical.
Who discovered the body?
Neighbor heard the gunshot. Flagged down a constable. It looks like the killer was looking for something. The diamond?
Quite likely.
exit wound?
Looks like the killer was sitting across from him at the desk, and, what's this? Dear Mr. Sentry, I wish to meet with you to settle my husband's debts. May I call upon you at noon tomorrow at your office? Dated yesterday and signed, Lady Iris Carriday. That would put her here at the exact time of the murder. And Sentry holding the letter would be the clearest case of a mute dying declaration that I've ever seen. No, there can be no doubt about it, Holmes. Lady Iris Carriday murdered Jack Sentry. Case closed.
Congratulations, Lestrade. You've read the clues exactly as they were laid out for you. But did you consider the blood some 3 feet behind the body? With no exit wound, it couldn't have been sprayed there. And the body is slumped forward instead of back after being shot at close range. This indicates the body has been moved. And this chip is from the floor where his head struck it forcefully. Now, if Lady Iris were the killer, we must assume that Sentry, with a bullet in his heart, pulled himself up off the floor, righted his chair, put it behind his desk, shuffled through his papers till he found Lady Iris's note, slumped forward, and died. No, Inspector, this little tableau has been staged to incriminate an innocent woman. It isn't a dying declaration, it's cheap theatrics.
Well, there may be something to what you say.
May I see the key to this office?
Oh, certainly.
Ah, pray, when you return to the yard, compare this key to the one on Rooney's rabbit's foot and let me know if they're a match.
Oh, very well.
And let me know the bullet type once you dig it out of there.
Certainly. Oh, what's that you have there?
Looks like the bookmaker's book. Ah, here's an entry for Lord Peter, but the debt has been cancelled. Here's a page for Rooney, but the sum is trivial. Hello, here's a name I just heard today. Omar Masood. He owed over £100, made an installment earlier today. Most suggested. Here, Inspector, read this over. The names may make for interesting reading. And allow me to lock this letter up with the diamond until after Lord Peter's funeral. It's almost time to collect the chess pieces and get them all sorted.
We bring nothing into this world, and for certain we carry nothing out. The Lord has given, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
Mr. Holmes, Lady Iris asked whether you can summon the bidders for the diamond to her home tomorrow morning.
Excellent idea. Shall we say at 10?
I'm sure that will be satisfactory.
Mr. Anslow, did I hear correctly that the Randolph Club has a shooting range?
We do.
I'd like to take a look at it. I want to practice a bit.
You're welcome to come as my guest.
Oh, thank you, old man. That would be just great. Could you tell me, please, where it's located? It's called the Randolph Range, is it?
That's right.
No, last this pen's gone dry. Have you a fountain pen?
Here, let me write down everything for you.
Oh, thank you very much. I think you've entered some tournaments.
I'm sure it can help you with that. Shall we say noon a week from Saturday?
Well, that would be splendid.
Here you are. I don't think you'll have any trouble finding it.
Thank you, Anslo.
Fine service, Father.
Thank you, my son.
May I have a word with you in private?
Very well, come with me.
Lestrade, I didn't think that attending funerals of murder victims was part of your duties.
Oh, it's not, but seeing as the case is still open. Besides, Holmes and I found a rather interesting book yesterday at Jack Sentry's office. Thought I'd put faces to some of the names.
You've certainly had quite a week with 3 violent deaths.
Yes, normally I'd say there's atrocities every day in London. Yet here we have 3 murders that seem to be related, yet each appear to have been committed by a different hand. That's what makes them so unusual.
Excellent point. Lestrade, what do you intend to do about Alec Collier? Have you submitted your report?
Not yet. Haven't had much time at my desk.
You gonna bring him in?
I can wait.
To question him?
And to arrest him.
Will that be necessary?
Well, it's a murder case, Doctor.
Ah, I disagree.
What do you mean? He put a fireplace poker through a man's heart. Doesn't matter much of his victim was a worthless blighter.
Could he be spared the ordeal of a lockup and trial? Sergeant Alec Collier is a decorated war hero. Doesn't that count for something?
Well, it does for me. Can't say about the Home Office.
Home Office. In my experience, the Home Office's curiosity extends no further than which folder and which drawer and in which cabinet to file their reports.
I'll have to agree with you there.
I think that Alec Collier, as butler to the Carradays, was simply defending his employer's lives and property. He wasn't able to save Lord Peter, but he was able to recover the star from the attacker who was in the process of stealing it.
I think I see what you mean. Very well, Doctor. Leave it to me. There'll be no arrest.
Thank you, Lestrade. Oh, and Lestrade, I hope you don't think I'm asking you to compromise yourself in any way.
Oh, certainly not, Doctor. I've been a police inspector a long time, and one thing I've learned is that sometimes justice needs to be served in spite of itself.
Are you alone?
Yes.
Take this. Don't let anyone see it.
No, Boris, no.
Be killed slowly. I made a mistake. I said too much to the Arabian. He can testify against me.
But you don't need to do that.
If I could give him the diamond, he wouldn't. But now, he wants to keep him.
But what do you want me to do about him?
A few drops in his tea and he won't see the morning.
You want me to murder him?
It's that, or see me hang.
Oh,
Someone's
no,
coming.
Douglas, I can't.
You can, and you will.
Inspector, can I get you to pull your wagon around back and wait there?
I thought exactly. We'll be close at hand, but unseen.
Collier, how are you feeling?
Oh, a bit lightheaded when I stand up quickly, otherwise all right.
Well, your circulation's still recovering. Mrs. Hudson, please send over some of your steak and kidney pie.
That'll put some color in your face.
Oh, yes, ma'am, I'd like that.
Mr. Holmes, is there anything you need for the auction?
No, now that we have the star, nothing else is necessary.
May I have a look at it?
Lady Iris?
Certainly.
So this is what all the fuss has been about. It's smaller than I imagined, but more beautiful.
What do you think of its color? Has it a greenish cast, or is it blue?
I wouldn't know about that. I'm practically colorblind.
Oh, what a pity.
It is lovely, isn't it? In all this time, I've never had an occasion to wear it.
Well, now's your chance. Unless you're afraid.
purse.
I'll take a chance. Jessica, bring me the mirror.
Yes, my lady.
It is a stunner, isn't it? It's all right if I wear it for a bit longer, isn't it, Mr. Holmes?
It's still yours.
Jessica, bring the tea service.
Yes, my lady.
Lady Iris, you've exhibited such exceptional fortitude with all that's happened this week.
Oh, thank you for saying that, Dr. Watson. My knees have been shaking for days.
Good morning, Lady Iris. Good morning, all.
Oh, Madam Perona, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you. You honor my home.
I am honored to be here.
Are we expecting anyone else?
One more, Sheikh Bakri, and I brought along Mrs. Hudson to assist me.
Welcome, Mrs. Hudson.
You ladyship, it is so good to see you again. I trust you are well. Such terrible things have happened to you, I must say.
My cross to bear, I suppose. Well, everyone, make yourselves comfortable while we wait for Sheikh Bakri. My maid will bring you some tea. Madam Karovna, milk or sugar?
With one sugar, if you please.
Mr. Bonus?
None for me, thanks. Madam, I want you to know that I'm sending you that Scottish landscape we both bid on. I've had a change of heart.
About the painting, Mr. Bonus?
No, it's about myself. I told you it was for my daughter's new home, and that wasn't true because I have no daughter. I was going to resell it in Chicago, but I'd rather have you have it.
Thank you, but may I know more about this change of heart? What has happened?
Well, I went to the theater last night, and I saw a play by a man named Oscar Wilde. And in it, someone says, a cynic is a man who knows the price of everything, but the value of nothing. That hit home. You're looking at an expert at the price of everything.
Oh, Mr. Bonus, you are an honest man of business. You have nothing to be ashamed of.
I wish that were even remotely true, but it's not.
Welcome, Sheikh Bakri.
Good morning to you, Lady Iris, and good morning to all of you.
May I offer you a cup of tea?
Oh, very nice, thank you.
Milk or sugar?
Black, if you please.
Mr. Holmes, how do you take your tea?
Milk, no sugar.
Your tea, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Angelo, it appears as though the late Mr. Center did not have the diamond at all.
I wouldn't know. He wasn't in when I called.
Very unfortunate. But then again, had you been there, you may have suffered the same fate. Perhaps it was for the best for both of us. On second thought, I've had coffee already today. I think that is enough. Thank you nonetheless.
If everyone will be seated, I'd like to first say I welcome you to my home, and we can all agree that an auction the day after a funeral is hardly normal. But when will life be normal again? Oh, Collier, I can't have you standing all this time. Won't you come sit with us, please?
I still do feel a bit wobbly. I believe I will have a seat.
Yes, well done, old man. Do have a seat.
Not there, beautiful. Come, sit next to me.
I'm sure you're all pressed for time, as am I. I'm selling this estate.
When did you decide this?
Well, Peter and I had a standing offer from the Duke of Southbrook, and now with Peter gone, I've decided to accept.
Where will you live?
Perhaps nowhere. I wish to travel and sample different climates and landscapes.
Oh, think about it carefully, my dear. I have been a gypsy for decades, spending a season in Paris, another in Moscow or Budapest. It is delightful again first, but now I wish I had put down deeper roots.
I'd say the same, Lady Iris.
Well, I'm afraid I've quite decided.
In that case, let me invite you to visit the desert. It always amazes me that the world's richest cultures have developed in its most barren environments.
Thank you, Sheikh Bakri. Perhaps I shall. Mr. Holmes?
Jessica, pray join us.
Yes, sir.
There's two more we may require. Inspector Lestrade.
Oh, it's that dreadful Mulligan.
I believe we all know the inspector. Lestrade, will you introduce your companion?
Certainly. This here is Mr. Omar Massoud, a translator of Arabic and a rather unlucky horse player.
Getting a bit crowded in here, I must say.
Perhaps not for long. There's an ancient law that requires that when a property has a nefarious past, it must be disclosed to potential buyers. We all know the legend of the Star. Add to that the deaths of Rooney, Sentry, Lord Peter. What sort of bullet killed Sentry?
Oh, it was a 442 Webley.
Well, that's the type of gun and bullet that this man pointed at me. It was not loaded.
Oh, come now, Mrs. Hudson. How would you know what kind of weapon it was?
I know my weaponry, Inspector.
I see.
There were no bullets.
Well, did you owe Jack Sentry over £100?
Yes.
And were you at Jack Sentry's office the day he was murdered?
Yes, but only briefly. I paid my £10 and then I left.
And while you were there only briefly, you didn't happen to put a bullet into your empty gun and fire it into Jack Sentry's heart, and then ransack his office looking for the diamond?
Certainly not.
So you say. What say you, Holmes?
There's one more clue to consider. Beneath Sentry's dead body lay a letter requesting to see him at the very hour he was killed. The letter is signed Lady Iris Carradine.
What? That's not possible. I don't understand.
It's on your personal notepaper and appears to be in your hand.
I never wrote such a letter. I've never been there.
I said it appears to be in your hand, but if you look at it closely, you can see it's an obvious forgery meant to send you to the gallows.
Who would do such a thing?
My job is made tedious when I must deal with dull-witted criminals. The murderer naively believed that Sentry had the diamond, but then why would he have gone to Sotheby's for a cancelled auction? Someone gave him a sheet of this notepaper. On it he forged your hand, killed Sentry, and shoved it in his dead hand as if he were declaring you his killer. But here he bungled again. Though the letter bears a passing resemblance to your hand, the ink does not. The forger used the indigo blue that was in his own fountain pen, whereas yours, Lady Iris, is filled with Perkins mauve. A forger ought not to be colorblind, Mr. Onslow.
That's enough! Everyone stay just where you are. Now I'll take that diamond, Mr. Holmes.
Come and get it.
Bring it to me.
I'll meet you halfway. There it is, all neatly laid out for you.
Take 3 more steps back. Stand behind the chair. The rest of you, don't move.
Come this way, Mr. Anslow.
Oh, Mr. Holmes!
That was some first-rate detective work and some fine fisticuffs to boot.
How did you know that Anslow was a forger, with only the ink as a clue?
I couldn't conclusively, which is why I had to give him a fright to push him over the edge.
Oh, Collier, old man. If we were still in uniform, I'd put you in for a decoration. How do you feel?
I'm all right, but with your ladyship's permission, I'd like to sit for a moment.
Certainly, Collier. Now you are twice a hero. Please.
You certainly are.
Oh, I hardly know what to say. Do we have another postponement or continue with the auction?
I say we go on.
Madam Monroe, are you all right, or do you need more time to calm yourself?
When I'm to calm myself, I don't need time. I need vodka.
I can get may I serve anyone else?
I'll join her.
Oh, my dear boy, you just sat down like a girl.
Yes, madam.
Jessica, remain for another moment.
Yes, sir.
I can handle it.
I'll want to take a look at those stitches before I leave today, Collier.
Very well, Captain.
Lestrade, how's your prisoner?
Oh, he's rather upset, I must say.
Should be.
Now, Holmes, how exactly did Anslow get the notepaper?
You look around the room, his accomplice can be readily identified.
Is it Omar?
I'm innocent. Stop accusing me.
No, it's not Omar. I see who it is.
Oh,
There's an indentation around your finger. Where's your wedding band, girl?
it's not what you think, sir. Douglas told me to take it off to get this job.
Douglas Anslow. So you're married to Douglas Anslow, are you not?
Yes, I am, sir. I'm sorry, my lady.
You entered this house not as a maid, but as Douglas Anslow's accomplice?
I'm his wife.
Did she have a hand in the murder of Jack Sentry, Holmes?
No! I didn't know anything about Sentry till after.
And when you came to see me on Baker Street, did you already know that your husband and Sir Sentry's office had not found the diamond?
No, not at all. I mean, what was I supposed to do? Go to the police and tell them that my husband was a murderer?
Under the law, you are not compelled to.
Oh, then. Hadn't done anything wrong then, have I?
Collier, dismiss Jessica without a reference for stealing my notepaper and for concealing her marriage.
Yes, ma'am.
For stealing your notepaper and keeping my private business private. Oh, I expect you want me to curtsy and say, very good, my lady. And thank you, my lady, for making love to my husband while yours lay dead in his coffin, his body not yet cold. And now you're going to throw me out, just as the crown's about to make me a widow. Well, you could go to blazes. I should be a lady, not a maid. I married up, or thought I did. So now I'm at my own way, by myself. And I won't be curtsying and saying, yes, my lady, not anymore. So damn you, Lady Strumpet Iris. And damn you too, Mr. Holmes. You that had no time for me. Oh, damn a lawyer! Just damn
She's lucky I've nothing to charge her with.
Well, nonetheless, I feel sorry for her.
I do too, but she left me no choice. Mr. Holmes, I must know, was Jack Sentry responsible for the murder of Peter?
Sentry had hired Rooney before, but I don't think he hired him to kill your husband.
I see, so I suppose that leaves Douglas Anslow.
Oh, Anslow would have done it himself. It's more likely it was someone with a strong animus towards his lordship.
Well, from what I hear, that includes a lot of people. Forgive me for saying so, Lady Iris, but Lord Peter had a lot of enemies at his club.
Even in this room. Mr. Bonus, you said you met with Lord Peter at the Randolph Club last week, did you not?
Yes, I did.
And what did you discuss?
He offered to sell me some of his house's furnishings. But when I tried to talk turkey with him, he was too drunk to negotiate. So I left.
You have words?
Almost more than words. When I told him I'm a Chicagoan, he balked at the idea of me entering his sacred home to look things over. I felt like sobering him up by breaking his jaw. I told him what I think of stuck-up drunks like him versus self-made men like me.
So you were among the many who didn't care for Lord Peter.
I certainly was. But our differences were trivial. If anything, I pitied him.
Yes, and killing him would have been bad for business. Lord Peter had a rare gift of making enemies even beyond London, all the way to the Middle East, where he offended an Arab sheikh. Certainly you're familiar with the incident, Sheikh Bakri.
Lord Peter offended my family. His father paid a large sum that he might escape punishment. But if we had known that the Carradines possessed our diamond, I would have demanded his return instead.
Did you come to London in search of the star or revenge?
Star exacted its revenge.
Perhaps if I believed in curses, I might agree with you. Now that Lord Peter is dead, has the honor of your family been avenged?
It is. But you think that it was I who brought about its doom?
I believe believe you desired it and were helped along by a deadly coincidence that happened in this very room. Rooney, Sentry, Lord Peter, and the Star were all here at the same moment.
I knew it. It was the star that made it happen.
Or perhaps it was kissing. The plan was for Rooney to kill Lord Peter, steal the diamond, give it to the one who hired him, and get paid. Then, Sentry would be arrested as the last one seeing Lord Peter alive. The diamond could be slipped into his office to prove his guilt. Rooney had the key.
Are you saying that stealing the star was not the object of the crime?
Precisely, it was a diversion. The real purpose was to kill Lord Peter. The star was a red herring.
Lady Iris, did Lord Peter have such a dangerous enemy?
Not that I know of.
Except, of course, for yourself, Lady Iris. You hired Rooney to kill Lord Peter.
Well, your ladyship, I'll be gobsmacked.
How could you say that?
As Rooney rebuilt your stable, you learned he had other skills besides carpentry. On that fateful day, you went for a horse ride, and you left your saddle on the fence, instead of in the tap room. This was a signal to Rooney that all was clear. The star was out, Lord Peter was drinking in the library, Sentry was due at any moment, and the garden door was unlatched.
Why would I hire someone to rob me of my own diamond?
Because it wasn't your diamond, it was Lord Peter's by birthright to give, sell, or gamble away. When Rooney disappeared, you believed that he had colluded with Sentry to betray you. You became desperate. You beguiled Anslow to search Sentry's office. But Anslow thought to overreach, thinking to steal the diamond for himself. He killed Sentry and tried to lay the blame on you.
No proof of this.
There's one more clue. A small cryptic note found in Rooney's pocket. It reads CSPCTU 300. I deciphered it at Lord Peter's funeral. It means Chalfont St. Peter's Church, Tuesday at 3 o'clock. According to Father Martin, this is the exact hour you arrive at the church as the newly bereaved widow. It's the same hour that Rooney failed to meet you at the church. The note is genuine in your hand with your Perkins Mauve ink before the murder occurred.
Is it common to incriminate your own client, Mr. Holmes?
It is not, and there will be no charge for my services.
What happens now, Mr. Holmes?
Inspector Lestrade will escort you to Scotland Yard, your ladyship. There you'll have an opportunity to meet with your solicitor, and I suggest until you have, you make no statements.
Collier, the Duke of Southwark already has a head servant, but he assures me that the rest of the servants may remain, and I'll write you a very favorable letter of reference, and for whatever it's worth, I wish you the best.
Thank you, my lady.
I shan't make a statement to the police, but I wish to say something to my guests.
You do understand that it may be set down and used against you?
So be it. I've never once abandoned my guests in my home. I almost feel worse about my breach of etiquette than I do about my crime. It's funny, isn't it? How important propriety and etiquette are to me. They've been the beacons of my life on this estate, which I have ran by myself for 15 years. All the while knowing Peter could lose it all in one card game and leaving me destitute. And there was nothing I could do. Under the law, nothing. So, I sought out a remedy on my own. And perhaps it was the star that drove me to it. I remember the night I took it out of the vault and my blood was pulsing like a drum, urging me to be free of Peter, free of fear. I lusted freedom, my joy, neither of which I'd had in a very long time, Mr. Holmes. Well, Inspector, let's be off.